Now, back to Matt and your morning news.
KTRH News Time is 8:16. Hey, don't forget, if you are a Beatles fan, and aren't we all, Louise Harrison, who is the sister of the Quiet Beatle, George Harrison, will be joining me coming up at 8:45. Actually, Lois and I both will have an opportunity to talk with her, and we're certainly looking forward to that. So don't miss that. That's coming up a little bit later on this morning. Right now, I'm very excited because this is the first opportunity I've had to talk to Harris County District Attorney Pat Lykos. Pat, welcome to Houston's Morning News, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Good morning.
I'm glad that you are running for re-election.
Thank you. I am too.
I'll bet you are. Let me read something off your website. You said this, and I quote, "A thriving civil society requires order, the foundation of which is that citizens must believe that justice is both fair and vigorously applied." Do you feel that you have done that in your previous term?
I do.
Tell me why.
We've restored the confidence and trust of the public. When I go out in front of the courthouse, working people come up to me and they thank me and so forth. We can tell it during jury selection and so forth. The letters that we receive are outreach to the community and to law enforcement officers, all the initiatives that we've created to make Harris County safer.
You have said that you can run, but you cannot hide, and you were referring to some of those that are still running from cold cases. You seem to be putting a real focus on that. Is that true? Is that something in your new term, should you win it, that you will be super focused on?
We're already super focused on it, and we will continue those efforts. We had 600 murder cases that were in 22 different file drawers when I took office, and no one was looking for these people. They were either bond forfeitures or no arrest. And so we have put a concentrated effort. We brought people back who have been on the lam for 30 years.
Pat, there's a grand jury investigation going on. Some say that there might be an investigation into your office. Do you know anything more about that? Are you worried that that may come back to haunt you as you run for re-election at all?
I'm not worried about that haunting me. The only thing of value that any of us have is our own good name. And we're totally transparent here. And anybody who wants to ask questions to see what the facts are, we have them. And so it's a political season, and it's to be expected.
So do you feel this is a political maneuver of sorts, that somebody is just trying to maybe shed a bad light on you?
Well, I think perhaps some people are... I'm not going to make any remarks about the grand jury because I truly don't know what it is that they're doing. I think there's miscommunication and so forth. What we did, when I learned that technician said that there were problems with the test results, that she felt like they weren't accurate, we immediately notified all the lawyers, all the cases that were pending, and cases that had previously been pled out. It's called a Brady notice. Then she made other allegations going back further, and we immediately notified all the lawyers again, and then went to the DPS and asked them to test the bat van with the intoxilizers. The report is on our website, and so the assertions that this technician made are incorrect.
Pat, I want to thank you again for being with us. And if you'd be kind enough to hang on, I have a question, and I'm going to let you think about it through the break. I have had this discussion and defended this position. People have asked why there are more black men on death row coming out of Harris County. The last 12 of the 13 have been African American, and a lot of people think that there is a predisposition by your office to go after African Americans. I want to hear what you have to say about that.
Now, back to Matt Patrick and your morning news.
KTRH News Time is 8:23. We're joined by Harris County District Attorney Pat Lykos, and I'm very happy, Pat, that you took the time. I know you're very, very busy. I'm glad you're running for re-election. This question, though, you will get, I'm sure, as you run. Houston Chronicle does this very long article about how it appears that your office is prosecuting African Americans differently than you're prosecuting others. The last 12 of 13 people that have been put on death row, all men, have been African American. Are you prejudiced against African Americans?
Well, absolutely not, and those statistics aren't accurate. In 2009, we tried 2 death penalty cases, and both of the defendants were white males. With respect to 2010, we had two, and they were both African American males. One assassinated a police officer, shot him, and then walked over and shot him in the head execution style. The other one broke into his girlfriend's home. He tortured her young daughters, and cut their throats. And the victims were African American. We take it very seriously, these offenses and how heinous they are. When they're brought to me to make that determination, I don't know the races of the parties, the victims, nor of the defendant. I'm talking to you about cases that have been tried. This year we tried Timothy Cole, and who killed his estranged wife and her daughter, white male. Another black male here on a carjacking where he had killed the owner of a tattoo parlor before he killed somebody in his carjacking. I could go on and on.
No, Pat, do you think the Houston Chronicle has got it in for you? I mean, maybe you get along with them?
Oh, I don't think they have it in for me. I think perhaps the author may have a certain bent. No, I don't think there's a vendetta.
All right. Yeah, but they don't like me that much either, Pat, if it's any consolation to you at all. Listen, I want to thank you for the work that you're doing in Harris County, because I think you're doing a great job, and I appreciate what you have done. It is a tough job, and certainly nobody knows just how tough that job is any better than the people that you work with, and they all speak very highly of you, and I hope that you will keep up the great work. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us here this morning.
I'm looking forward to visiting with you in the future.
I hope so, Pat, in person.
Yes, sir.
All right. And
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I promise that it will not be because they're bringing me in with my hands behind my back.